Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing a video with my friend who's made millions and millions of dollars over the past couple of years on ETH meme coins. We're going to be going over Ethereum meme coins because I don't see anyone else making videos about Ethereum meme coins on YouTube right now. Everyone is just talking about the pumpy Solana meme coins that are quick 100x's, but we're going to be talking about the untapped space, the space that no one's talking about on YouTube or on Twitter right now, which is Ethereum meme coins. So my friend here is going to be going over a little bit about himself, how he's made tens of millions of dollars on Ethereum meme coins over the past couple of years. And then he's also going to go over his top 5 meme coins on Ethereum for 2025. This is going to be a really informative and interesting video. It's going to be a perspective that you guys have not seen on YouTube, because I don't think there's anyone on YouTube that's actually made this much, that's going to transparently label everything out and then also call out his picks for the year. So going to be really, really, really interesting. So if you want to go over your general experience in the space and then maybe even talk about some of your bigger trades later on in the video, that'll be great. But it's super good to have you on the video, man. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So I originally got into the space around 2019, 2020 era. The first coin I actually ever bought was Doge and SafeMoon. SafeMoon, I started crypto with around $20,000 to $30,000. I put some money in Doge and I put some money in SafeMoon. Did decent. I sort of sold my back kind of early on Doge. SafeMoon, I turned my 7K to around 240K. And then after that, I was going through losing, winning, just really learning the space. And I found a coin called Floki. I turned 30K to Floki to around $8 million. At the top, it was worth. I got out around $3 million. I'm still holding a very large bag in Floki. Later on in the video, maybe I'll open up my MetaMask and just show you. I'm not one to lie about numbers and things like that. A lot of these crypto influencers I know just make up stuff and don't have anything to show for it. One thing about me, I like to stay anonymous, but I also want to help out my friend Amir here. He's a very close friend of mine and family, and I just thought I'd get on the video. I mean, I'm very new to getting on videos. I'm more behind the scenes. And so after Floki, I was winning and losing on some trades, and I was just like, you know what? I need to be the bank. I want to make a coin like Floki. I want to be the one that controls my destiny. So I learned how to dev. I was learning Solidity. And I started launching coins and figuring out exactly the narratives, the niche, the metas, and I just really got acquainted with everything. And that's what got me into deving. And then eventually I made 9-10-figure projects on the Ethereum network that I'm sure a lot of you guys know of. I'm not going to mention names, but I mean, there's very few that did reach the 10-figure market cap. Yeah, so I also want to go over just some of the picks I have for this year, for 2025. There's a few that I think with size, it's a good, easy few X's. I'm not going to go here and speak about the 7 to 5 mil market cap tokens that you're going to 100X, because I'm not going to make false promises. It's very hard to tell how a coin's going to do when it's that low, unless you have a team that you know is going to actually perform and execute what they're promising. A lot of these teams aren't. They're just in it for themselves. So I'm just going to go through stuff that's mostly almost guaranteed X's with the bull market coming, just based on the narratives. Obviously, Floki is Elon's dog. So, I mean, he's basically running the world right now with Trump. So I think Floki is an easy bet to at least 10 billion market cap if we see ETH move as well. I know ETH's lagging behind a little bit behind Bitcoin, but once that catches up, I think the Ethereum memes take off. I still hold a large 7-figure bag in Floki. Nero, another great coin. I mean, the narrative's great. That's one thing I do. I look for great narratives, and then I go very heavily into them if I believe in them. Nero especially. I mean, Dogecoin was Caboso. That was the name of the dog after Doge. And this is their new dog. So Caboso passed away recently, and they got a new dog named Nero. And this is the dog. It's at 770 million. I think this has at least a 10x to go. Like I said, guys, I mean, if you have size, it's it's good to get in these coins. This is just safe. This is a video where I'm going to talk about the higher market cap, more conviction plays. I'm not going to go in here and show you guys $3 to $5 million market cap coins that just is so speculative that I'm not going to do that. So I'd rather just touch on these for this first video as I get used to getting on videos, talking. But yeah, this is another great one that I think could do very well if ETH continues to run up and the bull run continues, just based on the narrative itself. Another Elon narrative. I mean, all Elon narratives are just insane, easy buys. This is also very low. This is Dogecast. It's at 14 mil market cap. Hearing a lot of big friends of mine that are in this as well. So I've got a pretty big position on this one. Not hugely convicted on it, but definitely has room to run. They just opened a podcast for Elon and Vivek. So the more they post about it on Twitter and the more it gets out there, I think the coin's gonna do very well. We just gotta see. I mean, it's still very early. Like I said, I don't really like pushing too much on the smaller market cap plays.
Yeah, so I think that your perspective is super unique for a YouTube video as well, and even just for a video talking about top coins, because not only are you a successful trader, but you're also a developer, a successful developer. So you're coming from two different perspectives, one as a developer, one as a trader, and combining both of those skill sets actually opens a very diverse room of mindset and of ability to be able to identify certain trends and to be able to identify certain charts, and looking into the token and looking into the token holder count and looking at different market makers and just looking at the overall aspect of the dev of a certain project is good, or if the dev of a certain project is bad based off the price action. So as you obviously know all these things, it creates a unique skill set that not many people have, which is why you have been successful. So, I mean, if you just want to continue on all this, I think that people are going to really appreciate it. And also too, if you just want to go and talk about your entry strategy, your take profit strategy, maybe you're holding, maybe you're trading, maybe you're swing trading. If you want to go over all that stuff, I think it'll be really valuable for people to hear from a person like you.
Yeah, absolutely. So for plays like Floki, Nero, these are sort of, if you're going to get them at these prices, I mean, anywhere between the 700 million to the 1 billion market cap, I think is a great entry for here. I mean, I'm holding this. I have a huge conviction on Floki. I mean, the guy running the world, this is his dog. I mean, he's tweeted about it many times. The community's cult-like. It's been out for, 2 years now, 3 years, coming on 3 years. I just think it's an easy conviction play for me. Nero, same thing as well. There is 2 Neros. There's like a community cabal one, and then there's a Binance cabal one. I mean, but one's at 160 mil. This one's at 776 mil, but this one's listed on Binance. I think I'm following the volume on this one, and just what seems more legit to me is the one on Binance. So I'm sticking to this one, even though the other one is at around 170 mil. I have a buddy of mine that's in the other one. He's up a few $100K from, I don't know, I think $3,000. But I just like this one because I go with size. So for the smaller guys that want to get in, I mean, this might not be the video for everyone. If you have $500 and you put it in, you want to make four grand, that's definitely doable for all these plays. 10 grand even with $500 is definitely doable. So for the entry for this, I mean, for Nero, I would say, I got to check the chart. I'm more of a hold, and if I'm into the narrative, I'm more of like a hold, and I moonbag stuff, like if I have a high conviction on it, but I could lose the money. I don't mind losing it. If I have a high conviction on it, then I'm holding my bag, and I'm praying basically. I mean, it's just the narrative that I believe in, and I'm very familiar with narratives and how the market works and how the charts work and how communities look in Telegram and market makers and just everything. I understand the blockchain, reading wallets. So it comes pretty easy to me when I see a project and I'm willing to ape, 6 to 7 figures into it.
Yeah. So obviously, Logic here is a part of Mashallah group. So, I mean, a lot of the stuff that he talks about on the Ethereum side and the things in his perspective, which is a very unique perspective, because a lot of kids nowadays in the 2024, even coming up into the 2025 era, a lot of the people are very short-sighted. They want to make a quick 100x. They want to take a gamble. They want to take a risk. A lot of these guys are getting completely wrecked. And it's more so a new form of gambling with all these different Solana plays. So I think that's why bringing on this Ethereum-based video is good, because the liquidity and the holders on Ethereum are, I guess you could say, the richer people that buy into projects and don't just try to day trade them super quick. So obviously, as you guys can see here, his perspective on trading, his perspective on holding and buying into certain tokens is completely different from what you guys are probably seeing on YouTube right now, which is the get rich quick scheme. Obviously, Logic doesn't play the game that way at all. He tries to play the game, he tries to enter into trades with decent size to be able to make a 2 to 10x over the course of X amount of time frame, which could be from months to years, as he's obviously very seasoned and he's hold huge bags like Floki for many, 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 many years. And it's turned out to be very, very, very well for him. So, I mean, all I would say is that there's a different path for anyone to be able to get to any level. So if you want to become a millionaire in crypto, there's a million different ways to get there. And obviously Memecoins is indefinitely the fastest way to get there. So, I mean, if you just want to go over a few other plays, I think you showed a couple of tokens so far. If you just want to go over a few more, I think you have a few more to show. I think that'll be good for sure. And then also maybe talk about your conviction behind them and why you're holding on to them. That'll be great as well. And then, you know, even if you have any cool stories towards the end of the video, definitely I want to hear some of your cool stories, because we've been friends for a minute, and I know you have some super cool stories about being in the space over the years, especially because a lot of the newer people that are entering in the space are younger, they're less seasoned, they haven't really seen much. So definitely go over those last final tokens that you have that you wanted to show, and maybe we'll get into some cool story time about the Ethereum world and the Ethereum meme world.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So I'll just go over a few other ones. There's 3 other ones. So there's also Shrub. This is Elon's hedgehog. Anything Elon in the bull market runs. It's just proven time and time again. This is at 63 million. I know a lot of big guys are pushing this. There's a lot of big wallets in here. A lot of friends of mine that are up millions on this and still holding it. This is a high conviction play for me. I have almost like 200,000 I put in myself. I'm probably up maybe 70,000 right now. Got in a bit late. Shrub plays a decent, highly conviction play. I think this could run to at least $1 billion market cap. That's a nice, 10 plus X, I mean, that's great if you go in with size. Even if you're going in with $500, that's still 5 Gs, still money. You got to grow. You got to grow your bags. You got to hustle. You got to work. You got to understand narratives. You got to understand the market. You got to understand community. You do all that stuff, you could grow your bag. And then along the way through the hard work and the grind, you'll hit those 100,000 X just from understanding and knowing the plays, I don't do that as much anymore. I mean, in the trenches, trying to hit these 1,000 X's is very much like gambling for me. But when I was in the nitty gritty of things and on the come up, that's all I was doing. And that's how I got to where I am now. So I think it's definitely a place to start. You just have to be very seasoned, get with the right group. I mean, mashallah is filled with some killers in there that are showing alpha, and I'm in there, my sauce on how things work. So yeah, so that's Shrub. We'll go over to the Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. I mean, this is a no-brainer as well. It was at, I think, around like 500-600 mil market cap all-time high, or yeah, 500 mil market cap all-time high. It's at 230 mil right here. I mean, Elon's starting the Department of Government Efficiency. I mean, he talks about it all the time. I think the community is insane. The holder count is great. Liquidity is pretty good. I just think it's all around great narrative, easy, 3x, again, it's not the 100,000x you guys are looking for. I mean, it happens a lot. I know many people I was just with the guy today with Amir, actually, at his place in Miami. He had a buddy put, I think, 3 grand into Peanut. He cashed out 8 mil. He's a Miami promoter. I mean, stuff like this happens all the time. I mean, it happened with me with Floki. I mean, UFO, I made a few mil on during the 2021 days. And I also made most of my money from deving, understanding the market, getting and running them myself and setting them to these high market caps. That's how, you get with a good group of guys, you get with a developer, and that's how you really make the big bucks and not risk as much. It's not as much as a gamble once you have a seasoned team that you're working with or a group of guys like mashallah, that's why I'm happy to be a part with them. I mean, Amir's super connected, good guy, trustworthy, and that's who I like to be around. So for SBR as well, that's another Trump Elon narrative. I mean, these are all just great plays for 2025. They're starting the strategic Bitcoin reserve, where the U.S. government's going to be buying certain amounts of Bitcoin, and I think it's going to travel through, every nation starting to have their own Bitcoin reserve. I think this narrative is just a no-brainer as well. I mean, it's a bit slow on volume right now, and it's on a big dip. I think it definitely has easy exits to go. The more they talk about it, the more they actually execute on what they're talking about, the strategic Bitcoin reserve. And yeah, I think these are the 5 plays that I'm just high conviction on. Went in with some size, and I'm just holding. I would go through like the smaller meme coin plays, but that's just not my wheelhouse. I do dabble around in it, but it's just a gamble for me. I'd rather go on stake and just put it on the back of right hand.
So that's some super good insight. Obviously, it's a completely different perspective from what people are used to in this current market, with obviously everything and all the attention being on Solana. But the reality is that there's still tons of whales on ETH that are buying up big size into these projects, like Logic just showed. So I mean, like, I think it's a cool little bonus segment of the video that I want to really tap into some cool stories that you might have from maybe whether it was trading or deving or maybe something crazy that you saw in the space. If you have any cool stories that you want to tell that you might think that might be entertaining to people, maybe it might provide some value or lessons, definitely go over those if you have any cool stories off the top of your head. And then from there, we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, I mean, I have a few funny stories. I mean, the best stories are always the ones with the crazy months, back peak bull run 2021. I mean, to make less than 500 to 700K a month, just launching coins, have the right group, working with the right people. I mean, it was like literally printing money. It was the easiest thing in the world. I know Amir comes from the NFT side of things. When he was doing NFTs, I was doing the coins. When there was no devs, there was no pump fund. So I was one of the very few devs that were on the Ethereum chain that were launching and sending everything. I would touch something and it would just go to gold. Those were the best times of my life. I mean, I was traveling everywhere. I mean, now it got a bit old to me. I'm sort of like on a tired type of living situation. I have a kid, wife, nice cars, nice house. I just relax, trade meme coins, and it's fun to me. I get enjoyment out of it. It's not fun to sit. I mean, I tried to retire and sit around. It just gets very boring, very purposeless life. You want to keep a purpose, so that's why I'm still in here grinding, trying to build connections and just teach people now also as well. I think that brings a lot of joy to me as well. Yeah, nothing too crazy of stories. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of degenerate stories that I would talk to you guys personally about, maybe in mashallah, but just publicly on YouTube, I probably wouldn't say any of the crazy stories, but just the best memories I have are just like the crazy months, 500, 700K, just deving, I'm not counting like the coins that I would buy or sell. I mean, just that. There's nothing better.
All right. Well, I mean, Logic, I really appreciate you being in the video. I think people are going to get a lot of value out of this, just it being a completely different perspective from someone that's a true OG in the space, that's actually spent day in, day out, every single day for the past 5-6 years in this space, that's actually done the work, that's actually made the money, that's actually had the results, and obviously is continuously having the results, even in the year of 2024. But the last question is, you're obviously a dev, you've obviously traded over the years. What are your thoughts on the current pump fund, like the current pump fund setting of, obviously like 200,000 coins being launched a day and people just doing the craziest, weirdest shit that we've never seen? What are your thoughts on that? I think that's what I want to end the video on. Just want to see your perspective on that.
Yeah, one thing I'll say, I think it's hurting the market a lot. It's bringing eyes to it, but I think in the long run it hurts it, it gives crypto a bad look. I mean, I just saw a guy yesterday on Pump Fund. He like killed himself on camera. There's another guy locking himself in a cage. There's dogs, there's insects, just a bunch of crazy stuff on there that's really hurting the market, just from like, if I have my little brother get into it and he hears it, like it's a bad look for crypto. I think I just saw them take the live streaming down today. I think that's a huge help. But yeah, I mean, anyone could be a dev now. It's not the best thing in the world, but it brings more eyes. So I mean, more eyes, more money goes into the stuff. So I don't mind it. I think it's a lot of nonsense, but I'm not here to judge,
All right. Well, we really appreciate you, man. We're going to definitely bring you back for more videos to talk about some updates, some results, maybe some big trades that you make in mashallah, some big calls that you possibly make. We'll go over some technical analysis and some review, and even just a thought process of what that looked like when you were entering into certain trades. that we'll see coming up. And hopefully these trades that you talked about right here, these top 5 coins, hopefully that they cook in the near run. Obviously, if we see ETH, the Bitcoin dominance increase, then these ETH memes are just going to keep on flying, because ETH is going to be on the come up, and more liquidity is going to be flowing in. The more liquidity is going to be flowing into the ecosystem. That obviously means that people are going to be looking at memes. People are going to be looking at fast ways to make money on Ethereum. So I really appreciate you having you on the video, man. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Appreciate it, guys. Later.